What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets radio. The Deshaun Watson saga has now come full circle, where he has now requested a trade. And here's where everything gets interesting. First of all, if you got to try to figure out who to believe, but then you got to figure out what the Houston Texans want to do. Now they can say, listen, we're not going to trade you. You sit out. I don't think they're going to do that. I think the damage is pretty much done at this point, and they just got to lick their wounds and try to maximize whatever they can get in return. Now it's are they going to look towards an NFC team? Which this kind of reminds me of the Khalil Mack situation way back when, where, I was all about Khalil Mack from the Raiders. He ended up going to the Bears, and the Jets reportedly were close to the Bears, but they wanted him out of the AFC. Could that happen with Deshaun Watson? Could the Jets be in a situation where they could have the best offer, but the Texans take a little less to get him out of the AFC? That's the first thing. Then you look at, what kind of compensation do they want? The Jets can give a great package. The cap space for the Jets is not an issue. For other teams, it will be. Watson's only scheduled to make, I think, like $10.5 or $11 million this year. Cap space is not an issue. It's draft compensation. With the number 2 pick, the Jets have a very nice piece to offer. They have, 2 first-round picks this year, 2 first-round picks next year. Do you want to throw in Darnold? What do you want to do? So in terms of compensation, they can go toe-to-toe with anybody. Then it comes down to, where does Deshaun Watson want to go? Who is selling him the winning attitude that he wants? Now, according to all reports, Robert Saleh was a guy he wants to play for. But what if Matt Rule comes in? Is Matt Rule kind of a guy? What about Ron Rivera with Washington? There's other prominent coaches that could say, hey, you know what? We're already a winning team like Washington. We're almost a playoff caliber team. Or even the Miami Dolphins. Now, there's this thing that since the Dolphins fleeced the Texans, that the Texans will not trade with the Dolphins. I don't know if that's true. The optics are already bad. You already have your franchise quarterback that's 25 years old, already wanting to be traded. The optics are already bad. So you want to maximize as much as you possibly can in terms of a trade. The Dolphins offer you the best package. I don't think they're opposed to doing it. So, are they an option because they're a win-now team? So I think at the end of the day, it comes down to Deshaun Watson's going to say, listen, here's a list of teams that I want to go to and give the Texans a chance to shop. I don't think he's going to narrow it down and say, you know what, I want to go to the Jets and that's it. I don't think he's going to do that. I think it's going to be a list. And then it's going to matter of who's going to give the best offer. From the Jets perspective, I would be ultra aggressive. I would offer an extremely, you're going to have competition. I would offer a very competitive package. If they don't want Darnold, don't include Darnold. Trade him somewhere else. But you're going to have to be aggressive. Now, this is a quarterback heading into the prime of his career. He could be a 10-year answer for your organization. You can't try to say, you know what, we're going to offer you number 2 pick and 2 third-rounders and James Morgan. You're going to have to compete with people, and you're going to have to give up probably more than you want to. But what you're getting in return is a prominent playmaker, an explosive, dynamic quarterback, probably the likes the Jets never had before. So it's going to get interesting. I'm curious to see how the Jets handle this, if they go all in, if they don't. I think Woody Johnson will probably give Joe Douglas a little push, saying, hey, man, we got to make a splash here because this guy can sell tickets. This guy can win games. There's all good things about it. And we'll see where it goes from here. It's going to be interesting. I'm really fascinated to see what NFC teams get involved, what kind of compensation they have, what kind of cap space they have, and if the Houston Texans lean that way. And that's kind of my whole, thought process of all this, that's my biggest concern. Now, if Watson says, listen, I only want the Dolphins and Jets, you feel a lot better about that, but I'm not sure if he's going to be that narrow. And then, and Houston Texans may say, listen, we're willing to trade you, but you got to broaden your landscape. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth, we'll see what happens. I think I said like 5 times already, but if you're the Jets, all in, man. Make this happen. Give your best effort. This is not an indictment on Sam Darnold. This is an indictment on, this is a young quarterback that rarely becomes available. Now, I understand there's people that say, you know what, you can't rebuild around Watson. Yes, you can. You have plenty of cap space. The other argument is, well, you can't build your team through cap space. Joe Douglas had plenty of cap space this year. He rolled over a bunch for this coming year, 2021. So while you're acknowledging your deficiencies, saying, listen, yes, I have to draft well, but unfortunately, I also have to use cap space to supplement all the bad choices that Mike Maccagnan made. So unfortunately, the Jets are in a spot where you're going to have to spend $80 million to boost up your roster, and that's fine. What you do is you sign young players like Chris Godwin or younger players, young offensive linemen. You sign, building blocks that can be here for 4 or 5 years. And then you also draft well and hope guys like Bryce Hall come through and P. Ryan and everybody else. So it's not the ideal rebuilding plan for the Jets, but the quarterback is the biggest piece of the puzzle. I can't talk today. The NFL is a passing league. You got to keep up with the Joneses, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence probably. You need the big-time quarterback, and that one's available. Make it happen. So stay tuned. We'll be live Friday night, 8 o'clock, talking about this and everything else. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's safe, and we'll talk to you then.